Hello and welcome back to what did you say this was, Ocelot?
Let's see here. The International House of Pancakes, the first national tournament of midget flipping. Yeah, you just grab a midget. You just have to flip them like a pancake.
Midgets were involved in the thing you described this as before we started recording, but I don't believe in that way. So learn Dota 2 League.
We're at Gift Force semester, so we're watching.
Learn Dota 2 League, Season 12. I was about to say Week 8. It's not Week 8. It's Playoffs Week 1. First round of the bracket. Last time, Baby Shlark had a rough draft. Things just didn't go their way. This time they're immediately banning Tinker.
Well,
I can't blame them.
I can tell you there's like 3 other heroes off the top of my head that Minoy's going to probably pull out for this.
If you ban 4 guys, or if you pick 4 guys to counterpick Tinker and he still walks on you, that's the time to say, no, you don't counterpick this, you just simply do not let it through.
I wouldn't say it was direct counterpicks, it was more like fringe counters, just in specific scenarios where Tinker isn't being directly jumped on, they can hit him from range like with the Shadow Fiend ult, or they can get him with the edge of the Chrono.
But let's call a spade a spade. If you're gonna pick that lineup against the Backdoor Boys, you know what you're doing. It's 4 Void, or not 4 Void. They're gonna beat up their own guy. No, it's 4 Minoids for that Tinker. They're definitely thinking Tinker, and if you bring that much firepower to the table just for him, and you still ain't able to take him down, you just don't let him fly that ship again. You just don't let him fly that route again. Randy, what do you think?
About Tinker?
What do you think about first pick Ogre Magi every game?
I think they're gonna style on them by picking Ogre when the Ogre last game didn't have a good performance.
I think they're gonna style on them by picking the exact same lineup back at them.
Maybe.
I hope we get to see that with the Rush Rider team. We still got at least 4 more, maybe 5 to go through.
I'm gonna be honest, it feels like they were just way too ready for Ogre, like you just couldn't bring anything in from the last game, but I'm not certain they're gonna be able to really like rectify that mistake in this game.
Well, it's not them picking it, it's the other team this time.
Yeah.
First pick VS.
Ooh, well, that's
You were asking for VS last game, so they must have heard you very delayed.
Yeah, I feel like they might still make something with VS. VS is a very safe hero to take in a lot of cases.
Now, if you want to talk about potential Mars lineups, that's a great first stop on the Mars Express.
Yeah, nothing's more rude than having a VS Mars lane, actually. I've seen a number of swaps happen where he's just pre-aiming the spear in flight, the swap happens, and you can't do anything to get out of the way of it.
Right, and there's nothing in the world worse than, you know, there's sometimes, like, some support picks of the Mars are just like, well, that's just kind of redundant, it just makes it easier to get an arena you should already get. But, like, having the VS there allows Mars to put up a slightly less than optimal arena, right? Doesn't get quite everybody he wants to, and then, whoops, that one important VIP just also gets to be in the arena too, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, they get locked in and the key is just thrown out.
Unless they have
BKB. You could swap people out of the arena if you want.
Yeah, you could be really funny and swap people out of the arena, or you could pick up the Spirit Breaker. Flex pick in this tournament.
Spirit Breaker VS. Spirit Breaker VS is another lane combo that's really slept on, I feel like, because they have strong stun potential, decent auto attack boost between the two of them. They can really consistently right click for damage. I wouldn't say VS is really tanky, but her agi growth is it's moderate, but it's good enough to have nice armor.
And one thing
you can do, third most popular hero in this tournament.
One thing you can do if you're really funny is wait for Spirit Breaker to charge, and then swap him, and then refresh, and then swap him again, and just make him really confused.
Yeah, you could.
What if there's some really...
I thought you got 2 charges on VS's ult now, don't you?
No, that's they're patched out.
Really, man, the things you miss when you look away for 5 minutes.
I wonder if there's some really crazy, like, 5 million IQ strategy where Spirit Breaker just charges something weird and VS keeps swapping them to just keep making them stun the enemy team over and over. I'm sure Slot probably cancels charge, even if it's friendly. Lova. But I don't know, it's not an interaction you see often. Ogre Magi and Lion on the Backdoor Boys, they're going to have a lot of CC bringing to the table here. Spirit Breaker is going to have to very carefully pick his targets, because there ain't nothing worse than that feeling of charging into 5 and getting stopped by an Earth Spike after you hit the Ogre or something.
Right.
5 seconds remaining.
Backdoor actually knocked out the Omni again.
Omni.
They really
Someone
just
on
don't
that
want
team
to
like
see
Omni?
Omni. I guess so. Maybe Roxy or Bonus been playing it. Or maybe Boofus.
Potentially.
Maybe we're doing the funny pause 3 Omni Knight.
10 seconds remaining.
I feel like the 3 Omni Knight probably works better now than it did before his
5
rework, but I
seconds
still
remaining.
probably wouldn't do it.
Right.
I find that Omni is best used in situations where you want a very oppressive, like, frontliner who isn't afraid to just take hits for the sake of letting other people get safe farm, because Omni can do
Right.
that. He makes your right-click game really awful in the early game, he makes your escape awful, it makes chase for your team really good,
10 seconds
but
remaining.
he just, his biggest real factor before and now has always just been early kill denial,
Right.
Dire team back.
and really punishing for diving.
One big thing I think Omni excels at is, I think this is something a few people share, like if you're going to do Tide on 4, this is also great. Having some tank to support a pause 3 that's going to be more initiation or utility focused. Like if we're going to be running like a pause 3 silencer or something, Omni Knight, a great guy to send up with them.
Oh, absolutely.
5 seconds remaining.
I've seen a really nasty lane once upon a time with a Chaos Knight and Omni, and that was just...
The Twin Knights!
Yep. Chaos Knight stuns you in place and just mauls the crap out of you, frankly, and Omni just sits there beating you up and making you slow just by being in your vicinity. It is a very horrendous lane. The only thing that really counters it are people that have a bit of turnaround, like Ursa.
Right. Speaking of turning around, Baby Shlark do not want to be watching their backs this game and have banned out the Ricky as well.
10 seconds remaining.
Backdoor Boys just getting rid of a lot of
ban
random
that
pause
Chris Vicky.
lanes.
5 seconds remaining.
Yep. I will say I don't necessarily think you'd probably see a Ricky run back. I don't know if I would completely support that ban. And even if they
they're
do,
not
he's
gonna run back, but
even if they did try to run it back, it is a not an easy.
Bloodseeker. Ooh, who are they wanting to pick?
Dire team pick.
I
No
feel like
Wraith
they
King.
could have. I feel like they should have taken Bloodseeker over on Backdoor Boys, actually, between Spirit Breaker and VS.
Yeah, that would have been really nasty.
I mean, heck, Lion plus Bloodseeker just getting ruptured and you're getting mana drained and hit with it. It's
10 seconds remaining.
not a position to be in.
5 seconds remaining.
Wraith King, man, what are they going for?
Wraith King likes really long fights, and he's good at making them happen.
That's
So
true,
they
that's
are
true, but-
they are looking for skirmishes. They are looking for hit and run,
Radiant team pick.
Who are they going to take for their third?
like a Weaver, for
Oh,
example.
Yeah, you see
Likely
that.
going to be the funny 4-Weaver.
You see that Bloodseeker ban over on Backdoor Boys? Man, this is going to come back to bite them right now.
potentially.
It is likely going to be a support Weaver. Seems like Core
Yeah.
Weaver not
Oh,
very
of
popular
course,
this
but,
tournament.
Remaining.
Oh, of course, but nothing counters Support Weaver, Spirit Breaker, and VS
5
quite like
seconds
Bloodseeker
remaining.
does.
That's true. That's true.
I mean, just between his, let alone his ult, but also his Blood Right, there's nothing you can do to really get around that. I mean, you have to pop a skill to get out of the way and take a ton of damage from it, and
Yep.
there you go.
Well,
You just
one
play it
weird
in your
charge
hands.
interaction I do know is that if Spirit Breaker charges over Blood Right and it pops, it's over. Charge immediately stops. Underlord.
Yep.
That's just true.
Ooh,
If
well,
Perfect
that's-
gets silenced,
that
so
is-
his charger doesn't stop
Yeah.
charging.
That is definitely their answer pick towards Weaver, Spirit Breaker, and VS.
Yep.
I
And it's
don't
a
know if
pretty good
that's.
answer.
10
Here's the
seconds
problem though.
remaining.
They've got another problem brewing here. They got two really tanky mother.
5 seconds
I gotta watch my language here.
Mm-hmm.
They're way too tanky and they're Shadow
Oh,
Fiend. Okay,
yep,
that's
They're on
good.
the Shadow
Okay.
Fiend.
I was gonna say they need someone who can capitalize on their tankiness as a distraction. Well, there they go. Shadow Fiend can get the work done, but they need a workhorse. Is Shadow Fiend gonna be their big one?
Radiant
Is he there
team
too?
back.
I'm guessing they're
I
two.
am the Juggernaut.
Oh.
I am going
Yet-
to be the
Yet
pause one.
again, another person that would have been really nice to have Bloodseeker to play it for. Oh, man, this is looking really rough.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah, the Jug pick here is definitely good. Nothing in the world Shadow Fiend hates seeing more than Juggernaut, because not only can Juggernaut just tear him to ribbons, I mean, Shadow Fiend's always been a glass cannon. Sometimes people haven't realized it, sometimes people have, but he's definitely a glass cannon type. And Juggernaut really excels at dealing with those, because he can get around your damage really easily and screw you up, and especially if you're Shadow Fiend, you have a massive lineup on your ult, for example.
Yes, but I gotta make this point clear right now. I feel like Ogre is a waste of a pick here, and they should have gone with something a little more practical, like, well, frankly, Disruptor. Counters 2 of those 3 heroes, flat out, even Jug.
Yep. Well, it depends on who fires first with Jug.
Yeah, true, yeah, it is a bit of a Han Solo
Nothing
situation,
sadder
isn't
than
it?
dropping the ult on Jug, who's already spinning, he just walks away.
Yep.
You gotta love 0 cast point abilities.
Yep.
Oh, yep, there's an Ursa man. They are taking someone who likes to sit up in a fight. Who's it going to be? My guess is it might be. I don't know. Do you think we could see like a 2 bristle?
A 2 bristle? We have seen 2 bristle at this tournament already, but I believe that was in the hands of Manoy. Oh wait, no, we haven't. We haven't seen a two bristle. We've seen him do that in a against me actually. We saw him do that against me.
That's true.
You didn't just see it; you felt it.
Oh yeah, I did feel it. He is good at it. So.
Unless they're picking something super off the map for USA here, I'm guessing.
Actually, I might be wrong. Their team's very physical. They could take Slardar over on Baby Shlark.
Because they likely, yeah, I guess that's true. Who is mid? Baby Shlark.
They could take. They didn't ban Storm. Storm would actually be a really nice fit for their team, considering they're all about that mobility.
It's a very common.
OD is my guess.
Very common US Danny pick. Can't be OD because OD's out.
Oh, OD's banned. Okay.
I feel like over on Backdoor Boys, they might be able to benefit a bit from CM. Honestly, it's a little redundant between Ogre and Lion already being there, but I feel like just for the fact her Mana Aura can keep Ogre in the game with Weaver inevitably getting Mana Burn, maybe even on VS and Jug, might need that.
I feel like at this point it's better to just cut your losses on the Ogre pick.
Really?
I just don't think he's going to go anywhere. They definitely need a 1 here.
These are a bunch of people Ogre does not have fun laning against. As in, he can very easily be pummeled down by these people. These are people who have very good damage early when used appropriately.
They are going to wait till the exact last second to show us their 1. Who is it? Who is it?
Sven.
Well, you're talking workhorse. There you go, buddy.
Yes, I was talking workhorse. I didn't think they were going to just go straight for a Sven pick. I'm actually going to be really honest here. That is ambitious between Ogre Magi having, if they're going to actually go forward with using his E to its fullest extent, just buffing Shadow Fiend, Sven maybe Underlord if he's got the cooldown for it in a fight. That's bad. That is something you do not want to be caught in the middle of.
Ogre is going to be walking E this game. His Q and W are going to really not mean much, I don't think, but that E can really be devastating with these two.
Yeah, I gotta say, though, if they're looking for pickoffs between Lion, Sven, Shadow Fiend, and all them, VS and Weaver are, even Jug to an extent, are going to have a lot to say about that. Weaver can get Ags and ult them. VS can swap with them, take the sacrifice. Jug can just have Healing Ward, follow ahead of him a little bit. It's very hard.
The only issue is it's hard to do any of those things if you're feared and running away.
That's true, but then again, that ult does have a wind-up, and it's not going to have that Blink Dagger for a while, at least hopefully.
That's true. I will tell you this much. Manoy, he tends to run more of a conventional Shadow Fiend, so you're likely to see some raises here. Not likely to see the
for sure.
the new pattern build.
I gotta say, like you know my opinion on skipping abilities for the sake of just getting all of your stat points. I like the idea on paper. It's very very declarative. It just says I'm gonna win, but it's
Lena.
There is another speedy hero.
It could be an interesting interesting thing to do with the Shadow Fiend there. You know, Shadow Fiend, I think, generally lanes pretty well against Lena, but like once she hits 6, he just dies instantly, basically, if he doesn't leave. Which is not something you want to happen on a lineup like the Backdoor.
And they have a Spirit Breaker, so SF's in even more danger, you know, exponentially more danger.
Right. It's a good Lena pick here. Likely not what they were going to go with, but
Lion is probably the biggest threat right now to Weaver and to Juggernaut in the early game. Lena too, depending where she goes. Probably mid. If this is a surprise switch up and Lena's actually going to be like sort of a pause 3 and Weaver's going to be going for 2, that would be quite the mix-up.
That's Roxy Roro and
No.
Weaver, so that's 4 Weaver for sure.
Yep.
Hmm.
So I gotta say, I feel like, I'm a commentator, I'm not a player, so I don't have any skin in the game when I'm saying this. I would have for sure flexed Weaver into core here. Once I saw Shadow Fiend on the lineup, once I saw him getting picked, I definitely would have just probably sent him to mid. I could have done him on 3. Weaver on 3 works better than it sounds. Definitely would have flexed Weaver up to mid. Core Weaver here, I think, would have done a lot of good for them. Just not a thing anybody wants to deal with. Worst thing in the world if you're Shadow Fiend is like a Core Weaver. Just the last thing he ever wants to deal with. Because you're a glass cannon, and he's good at dodging your stuff. He's good at closing the distance with you quickly, which is something that Shadow Fiend never likes. The Sakuchi can catch you sometimes. The armor break really sucks to be you.
Yeah,
So
I
if
will
he can,
never argue that.
If he can solo jump up to you, dump his stuff on you, and then himself just beat you up, that's a pretty nasty guy to be dealing with, especially if he gets an Orc and you can't just ult in his face.
Yeah, Orchid is definitely an item that a good number of people on that team are going to want to grab at some point.
Right, yeah.
I could imagine biggest priority would probably be on most likely Underlord. I could see having the ability to get that. Shadow Fiend actually could very well use it because that extra bit of int and mono regen could give him the ability to spam out his
30 seconds.
Shadow Razor, which it looks like he's prioritizing indeed.
I would have, I'm in on the Dire here, on Baby Shlark. Like,
I don't know, man. Between
knocking.
Weaver and Lena and them, honestly, it goes both ways. Orchids
Right.
feel like they're going to be on both teams at some point.
Right,
At
Styles
least two.
definitely be big here. BKBs are going to be very important in this game. It's one of those
Right.
you can't fight when BKBs aren't up types of games. And there's some guys who can't very comfortably buy BKB on this lineup as well. Like, it's really hard for Underlord to
you
fit
have
in the
to-
schedule.
Yeah, you have to give up something to get BKB and Underlord, and it's usually something that gets you where you want to be. He needs
Right.
at least 1 or 2 tank items, preferably between Pipe or Vanguard, even both if you're farmed.
Yeah.
But if you're able to get ahead, you can skip Pipe by getting BKB, but you have to be very, very fast with your fights. You can't stick around in those.
SP going to be 3, by the way, if you're wondering how that he flexed into this. Sven, unsurprisingly, pause 1.
Is he no, he's got a lion coming down here with him.
Lion in his silly little cowl.
At least it's better than that one head that looks like, well, wait, no, is that the foreskin? It looks like, let me get a look at it. That is the foreskin hat.
No, it's a silly little cowl, okay?
Yeah,
Well, we can't jeopardize our Flashpoint sponsorship.
You're right, you're
Would be
right.
monetized
man.
for sure.
Yeah. We got to start diversifying. I mean, we all love Flashpoint here on this show. We should definitely get some more sponsors, I think. Maybe we'll randomly have one by the end of this series.
Quiznos.
I would prefer to sponsor things that probably weren't going to sue us for falsely associating with them. Thank
Okay.
you. I mean, I doubt Quiznos is going to sue us, but like, what if one day we're like Cass and Ti and Quiznos just looks at this video for some reason, like some.
Anyway, now for a message from our sponsor, Raid Shop.
Oh no. Ocelot has been banned.
Don't worry,
Ocelot
I'm
removed
still
from the
here.
cast for pressing ceremonial reasons.
Man, I'm gonna come back as a stupid green ghost now. With a less than cool voice.
A trying too hard voice.
Looks like, yeah, it really does. Let's get completely honest. Wraith King's voice was just not the same after they removed Skeleton King.
At least he's back now.
Yeah, he's got most of that swag.
That
It's
is a
still
lot
bit
of
different.
mangoes, dude. This guy wants to be, this guy
That
wants
passive
to...
regen's gonna keep him in lane against Lena, but he needs to be
That
very
is true.
careful
That's
because
true.
nothing will trip you up like a surprise W you aren't expecting. If he gets, oh no, dude, oh
He's
no,
getting a little beat up. Oh,
no
Okay.
way, oh my god, oh, wait, he has Shadow
He's
Rays.
getting in position for it.
it's a little
Lena
tense mid lane.
pulls the bottle off at like the last possible second. It is going to get raised for one of the charges, but mostly gets away.
Noise getting pretty handily beat back here, but ooh, no, that's not good. That's really not good. Oh, the rune. This man's in danger.
Nope.
This
Is
is
she
so
giving up on
tense.
this?
Lena just
Is she afraid of? She got to be afraid of Spirit Breaker or something. No. No,
No, she
he's
just couldn't
actually-
catch up to him.
Yeah.
I like
Yep.
the TP.
Yeah.
Just
I
couldn't
honestly,
catch him.
Is the Spirit Breaker not have a point of his Q? Does he not have his charge?
He does. He just didn't want to do it. That's definitely
Level 1 charge is super slow, so I don't
Right.
think it will
Nah,
work
that's a
anyway.
good point. And he's actively being hounded by the line.
I can tell you this much. Again, I've got no skin in the game, but if that was me, I would have at least given it the college try. Think I could have
Yeah.
scared Minoy into routing. And speaking of me, time for some mutual tips between Boofus and Rada. Two arch rivals. Uh-oh. Speaking of
that's
Rada,
true.
this is a pretty big initiate here.
Okay.
Oh,
Good,
Yep.
Good Earth Spike to try and stop matters, but doesn't really matter when the bug just.
Man, they're
eats you.
going for seconds. They're hungry.
It's a very dangerous lane comp here.
Lived with 1 HP from the badge. That's sad.
Combination mean also
no,
actually
dude.
looking really
Oh,
low. Ogre
no.
Magi just getting run over by that Jug and VS combo. That is a pretty dense, especially when that.
2 at 4 minutes. Wow, that is not bad,
Yep,
but
short
that is
start for the short
certainly
lanes.
that's certainly a start.
Yep, definitely a much stronger start for them than the last round when they started out kind
Yeah,
of under backdoor
Baby
stomp.
Shlark is definitely putting forward their best game here this time around. Nice start off.
They better.
Noi is actually being equally matched. Oh no, dude!
Oh,
You're a
oh,
little,
Oh, the raises!
Nope.
Oh, man.
Oh yes,
Oh, he
indeed.
got him! 3
The
HP!
last
He had
second
3
turnaround.
HP! He
If
had 3 HP.
if
He-
US Danny had rolled
Oh,
better,
The mango saved him.
if US Danny had rolled better on one auto attack, he would have
He
died.
still had fairy fire. Honestly, I don't think he would have been that hard off.
He didn't actually use it though. He's actually standing on it.
That is some supreme confidence. Ooh, courier snipe.
This lane is really miserable for Jug. He's the lowest for cores as far as CS goes.
Yeah, that's pretty
Pretty
rare
good.
for
He
Jug.
he is up against Underlord, who is he's inhibiting his last hit ability with his aura, and between
At the
Ogre
very
spamming
least,
stuff out, he's pressed for mana too.
At the very least, Jug does have a kill on him, so that is something for his troubles here.
That's a handful of last hits, but it doesn't really set him above anybody.
I'd say him puts him at least on parity with Sven.
Let's take a look at quickly peek just quickly at the net worth. Just humor me.
Sure thing.
I don't think that Jug's above. He's not even above Shadow Fiend.
Shadow Fiend actually pretty low net worth through Mana Blast as he has here.
It's
And the
because
kill.
It's because he hasn't
Oh,
actually
those
bought
mangoes.
anything yet. Oh my god, that damage! Yeah, this is why you level
Right.
into your raises. That damage.
Buying mangoes just sinks that in your net worth, pretty
Right.
much. And he had 3 of them. More than 3 of them, actually. He had 5 of them.
Yeah.
So.
At a million of them. Looks like the Pouch gonna get some time. Jug just gonna get a little bit of casual lane and
Oh,
done.
they're going around. Ogre gets stunned into the tower. That's not good. That is
Yep.
really not good. Oh, and the armor reduction.
I am going to spend you to that
Oh, Yeah, that's it.
There
That's
you
all
go.
she wrote.
Dire's middle
Jug's gonna
tower
take some
is
pretty
under
decent
attack.
damage from the. Oh
Oh,
no, dude.
Overlord.
You're-
Or Underlord, rather.
He's about to be under, all right.
Dire
6 feet
Oh.
under.
is under attack.
Ooh,
Oh my god,
he's
that
so
passive
low!
that passive and the
no.
tango are doing some work.
VS actually eats the mango to try and get it done, but she doesn't have boats.
Spearbreaker's dying.
No, Spearbreaker's actually dead. Takes Lion out with him, but... See, the always awkward situation to be in is the 3, where you get a kill, but it's on the support, and then the 1 kills you. Probably
Ooh,
not one
nice
of your
find
favorite
from Minoy.
Another shovel! Boy Lex is digging.
Yeah, that's not something you really want to see on a carry that's got a bottle in the mid lane. That is, that's punishing.
You know, there's an old saying, right? If you're going to take on the Backdoor Boys, make sure to dig 5 grit. Never mind.
Don't dig anything.
This is an
Make sure to
extensive
dig
pause.
5 graves first.
Yeah, 1 for each finger.
Yeah. That's pretty wasteful, don't you think?
Uh,
Does every single
I
one
have
get a
more than
coffin?
5 fingers.
Well, of course.
You have more than 5 fingers? What are you, a freak or something?
He's got 10. He's got 2 hands, man. You're like
What?
a cripple or something. Yeah, he's got 10 fingers.
Okay, what a conversation. Only fitting that we're talking about that as Bean gets killed.
That's true. What do you mean, actually?
It's exactly like the kind of weird conversation we would have in a call with Bean.
Yeah, that's true, okay.
It's a tribute.
I thought for a second there's some, missed a kill at mid, I can't be dealing with that.
Oh
Oh,
no!
you're about to witness a
pushing
death
for
admit.
it.
Oh.
Oh shit! Nice turnaround raise combo there!
Oh, yeah.
He's
you
super
really
screwed
can't
anyway,
get
but-
comfortable. You see, since they changed how raise works with the combo system, you can't really comfortably sit between raise distances because they hit on that in between now. So if you're standing in that sweet spot, you can just get easily 1-2'd and take more than half your health and damage.
Right, if you're used to facing Shadow Fiends, you know, if you're an old-fashioned
Just
anti-Shadow Fiend
stay
guy.
in one range if you're going to sit in his range at all.
Right.
That's a broom handle. That's a... surprised it didn't... If I were underlit, I would have just raced over there to grab that.
Yeah, it's still just sitting there.
Honestly, it's because Jug's there, I
Yeah,
guess,
dang
and
it.
Sticks. He doesn't have mana, though. He could easily... No, he's got a wand.
It's true. Well, they might be thinking of doing it now, actually. Spearbreaker charging in.
Oh,
think he, got
no.
caught.
This
But
man is
Jug-
not... Oh,
I
he's
don't know
dead.
if
He's
Chug
very dead.
realized it either.
He did.
Okay. Doesn't matter, they got so much magic damage up in this lane. Poor Underlord, even though he's got a good passive there. He just cannot stand up to the punishment for that. Stop walking past it. Stop walking past it.
Take your jungle items, my god.
Please. This is CBT, guys. Come on, don't do this to me. There we
I
go.
have done, I think, 4 separate PSAs on picking up your damn jungle items. Don't leave that on the floor.
Oh, poor
You are
Rada.
inviting disaster.
Rada is
Not poor Rada.
Rada's a rich man.
I have seen too many games lost because people refuse to pick up jungle items.
I've just seen too many games.
Wow, we're seeing a bit of a repeat here.
Yep.
Possess Mask. Goes straight to Shadowfiend. He's going to keep that, though.
And another shovel.
Alright.
Well, you know it's not going to be a burial, because both teams have shovels, and that'd be kind of
For
awkward.
sure.
Well, what's going to happen is they have to meet each other in single combat, and they have to declare one of them the ultimate Shovel Lord.
Maybe the game's just going to become Dig Dug.
It'd be a funny little thing if you had to use the shovel. You did like a little dig dug mini. You just get jumped in the middle of it.
Yeah, get jumped by somebody else who's also just coincidentally doing the Dig
Yeah.
Dug minigame. That's like 100% like you just bump into the guy and go, "Ugh," just panic out. Speaking of
That
panicking,
actually sounds like a thing that Ice Frog would do for like a Halloween event minigame or something.
Spike
Ice Frog,
Basket,
if you pay attention to any of these, please do that.
Yeah, Ice Frog, we know you're watching. We know you're watching, brother. I wasn't watching, but
Yeah, we know you're not watching.
we just conveniently ignored, but we didn't want to
Sven
see
just,
another grisly murder.
Oh, no.
Sven is pissed.
He's not fast
Yeah,
enough.
not happy about what happened
no.
to his buddies, but not fast enough
You
to do anything
see-
about it. Meanwhile, on top, the other Pause 1 getting a kill. It's Pause 1 City here.
Man, the skills in this game just tip back and forth like wild.
Yep.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Definitely seeing some aggression from Roxy Roro here at bot. 3-1-1. More of a traditional Roxy Roro performance after the first game where he had to be fairly passive, all things considered. It's one thing with Rubik. Rubik is definitely one of those momentum heroes that we talk about. If your game is not going great, Rubik is not going to be able to do much to help turn it around. But if it is, he's great at helping you seal the deal. Lots of fire here on the
Oh,
VS.
no, VS is
Oh,
gone.
I bet you bonus wishes they didn't glyph for that after all, considering what happened to him as a result.
I'm gonna be honest. I would have left that lane a long time ago if I were VS. Just sticking around with Ogre and Lion.
In fairness, I don't think he knew the lion was there at the first place.
I wouldn't have stuck anyway. If he's missing, let alone if he's anywhere potentially in range, you just sit back. It's like dealing with Storm Spirit. You
Rada
stay
blocking
out of
their
his
camps.
active cast range. If you get stuck in that, you're gone.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I like that play from Rada. He has a sentry anyway, and he sees Jug farming a camp, so he just blocks it after they chase him out of it,
Radiant's bottom
just to
tower
make Jug's
is
life a
under
little
attack.
more annoying. That's the kind of spite I like to see in Dota.
I'm always sitting here, Invis. Got this Shadow Blade already. Ultimately, nothing comes of it. The Baby Shlark, they already don't really want to fight out from under the tower.
Radiant's
That's
middle
Sven.
tower is under
That's Sven
attack.
turning around to fight as bad as he did earlier there here at bot. Really put the damper in their morale and their desire to actually pick a fight here.
Yep.
They're gonna jump on the ogre,
Certainly will.
but this is kind of an awkward fight. Baby Shlark
Rada-
set themselves up for.
Dire's bottom tower is under
Rada
attack.
just cut off the VS from being able to help there.
Yep. Nice, coming in from behind. Gets a very good
We're hitting a lot of damage from the Hellfire.
good dust on the Weaver.
Oh.
Down goes the Spirit Breaker. Gets killed by the first finger of the game, and Lion does go down to response, but this ain't good. This is gonna be the moment everybody knows now.
Oh my God.
Oh, great swap!
What a swap!
Great swap! That was right on top of a sentry too. How they know?
Now, that was teamwork.
Unfortunately,
Dies to the fire.
yeah.
Wow.
everybody still died anyway. But at least it looked really cool.
Yeah. I mean, I don't discount cool plays just because they don't work.
Very tragic for Baby Shlark there, but you know.
It almost worked, but hey, they at least executed it properly. They just got outdone. Oh no, speaking of outdone, this guy's about to be well done.
Dusty getting just hammered
Wait a
here.
minute. His passive might
Yeah.
save him. He
He
needs to
ain't
run. He needs to
saving
keep
nothing
moving.
from
Oh,
this.
the Spirit Breaker, no!
Yes,
Oh, but VSB got cut!
Okay,
He got
listen
cut,
here.
baby!
Rada.
That man needs to get. That man needs a tip.
Great
Oh,
swap, though!
save.
Oh
Okay.
my god, what
Oh,
a fun
man.
fight, dude.
Man, I am just impressed. Yeah, there's the tips that need to come out. Okay, someone needs to commend someone needs to tip Lion. He deserves it. That's save on Underlord. Man, round of drinks for everybody. Holy hell.
That was such a cool little encounter.
Yeah, that's what you want to see.
These players are playing off their face. Wow.
Yeah, it feels like both teams have taken off the kid gloves, and they're very much taking this seriously now.
Well, no surprise for Baby Shlark. They have one match to survive. They lose this, it's all over for them.
This
Oh
season's
yeah, no,
over,
they are. Speaking of Baby Shlark, I just got to say right now, they're doing a little bad on the last hit side compared to Sven and Shadowfiend.
Yeah, no surprise there. Let's see how that translates into money.
You know,
Money!
Pretty
Yeah,
significantly.
Game 2 is obviously always more important for the team that lost Game 1, but I feel like it's how important it is to the game that won Game 1 can't be understated either, because if you lose a Game 2 when you've won Game 1, the next game becomes a do or die, and you don't have the momentum for it.
Hey, you
Yeah, so
showed the
they're
team that just
already
took
off
you
the
out a
stress.
lot of your tricks.
Yeah.
I feel like they're pulling up just about. They're a little behind in the gold game, but then again, they're up against Sven and Shadowfiend who can flash farm. So
Well,
It's
that's
a bit of
not
an
good.
unfair
Just
comparison.
Juggernaut just randomly died off screen while this
Yep.
fight was brewing. Ogre Magi just gonna get
Oh,
completely
no.
annihilated by the 5-man death ball over here.
oh
Well,
no!
he was-
Lion
Slipper.
tries to TP, but no Diche. And that would have been great. Unfortunately, Jug died to Shadowfiend alone at bot. So,
Yep.
really didn't mean much to take the supports out in contrast.
It's still gold though, and they're gonna need that to come
It is
back.
gold. Gold is good.
Like the position of the creep wave up there. It's kind of funny.
Yeah, very awkward creep equilibrium there. We were about halfway up to that Ags. It's gonna be tough actually getting that Ags out in fights. It's gonna be tough actually, I think. I got
It's gonna
a
be
lot
tough
of
using
ways.
that whenever they're getting a really chasey fight in, because if you get teleported behind the entire enemy team and you're only about 70% full on HP, it's not a good look.
Yeah. Yep. It can
It's
definitely
definitely
get
a
you unintentionally
confident-
killed.
it's
It also,
definitely a confidence pick.
they also have a lot of things to just drop on Weaver to get rid of him. They got so much lockdown. They got the fear. Potentially could have silences coming up. It would not be a shock of any kind to see, you know, Minoy pick up an Orchid, or even Underlord, for example.
Yep.
Got a lot of things Weaver just doesn't like to see. It's going to be tough for him to get it up. Very, very large benefit. It's a high risk, high reward scenario for Weaver for sure. It's going to be hard for him to get use out of the eggs, but if he does, it's going to be a lot of use. You know, being able to completely write off like a Shadow Fiend ult, for example, would be huge for them. And speaking of huge for them, this could be a huge kill.
Certainly could.
And down he goes. Just
Alright.
to the
He
former
almost got
offlane
that ult
alone.
off. He might have had an escape option if he got that ult up, but just a second too late.
Right. And then he gets tipped.
You can really feel that Minoy is their primary focus for keeping them pressured, and that death actually brought Lena very close to catching up to Sven.
Radiant's
Yeah.
bottom tower is
Just
under
gotta-
attack.
Looking at the Pit Lord there. I don't think it was the death actually. I don't think she actually benefited from the death, but she did do the entire jungle while he was getting killed. So you know, Pit Lord getting caught here. Just gonna
Follow
drop the
Dusty
pit.
here.
Spearbreaker actually having a pretty good way of dealing with the old Pit Lord. Does not choose exercise there.
Ooh.
Sven chasing Lena down,
Oh
but
my God.
Oh,
great Omni comes out in response.
two people
He's alive.
super low.
Yep, Spearbreaker can't catch the best target in time, so he has to take what he can get. Combination mean is going to go down. Minoy desperately trying to get an ult off here.
They're making sure not to stick around in place they don't belong to. Oh no, the pit!
Yep.
Oh,
Alright.
He gets out anyway. They just don't have anyone around to catch him. No one alive can catch him, actually.
Yep, and Baby Shlark gets out of that with no casualties, which is always great news for them.
I don't normally like saying that you need to build this in a lot of games constantly on someone like Underlord, but he can benefit from an Atos. He can double up with his
He
pit
is
mouse.
building an Atos. You're too late.
Oh, well. Hadn't actually noticed. He never moused over his items.
I did. It's just that the new Atos looks really weird. You probably don't have the muscle memory for
Really?
it to recognize it.
What's it built out of now?
It's,
Double crowns.
Yep, 2 crowns,
yeah.
staff, and
Wow,
recipe.
it builds into Gleipnir. Okay, yeah, that makes sense, I guess.
You definitely have been out of the game for a little bit.
I don't usually build Atos, because a lot of
Right.
the heroes that like to build Atos at the time just don't build it anymore, like Pudge.
Well, I mean, you only got Atos on Pudge if you were just letting the enemy team know you're a big silly wiener who can't actually land hooks.
Yeah, training wheels. Pudge riding a tricycle.
This is a funny mental image.
Make it a taunt. Nice,
We're
Rob.
gonna
Do
swap in here. Yep.
Yep,
Yeah,
swap
nice
in the
prediction.
ogre and just
Oh,
completely
no.
annihilate
Oh
him.
my god, I think that was a little much.
I don't think,
Yeah.
I don't think the Laguna was necessary, but that's life.
Spearbreaker
I think they
charges
wanted
in
to,
to just
you know,
witness
actually,
it.
I know what they did. They wanted to make sure that they did it before Sven could show up.
Right.
They didn't want to get. They were actually really afraid of having the turnaround happen, which is why they're going for these really bursty kills.
Dire's top
Right.
tower is
And it is no surprise given their lineup. No surprise at all.
If any of their
They better be.
if any of their two big bruises are allowed to just march into their team and catch them even in a couple of their spells, there's the Atos.
Yep, there's an Atos. On the other hand, look out up here. Sven,
is
Oh no.
dead. He's
major
very
trouble.
dead. Died for a significant chunk of money to VS though.
Ton of XP as well, and perhaps more importantly, a lot of time down, and maybe Shlark gets a bit of time to sort of get some more money and get back in the game. Randy, you're a doctor, right?
Yeah.
Patient is presented with let's say you got 2 different patients, right, presenting with 2 different symptoms. One of our patients has a bad case of the Shadow Fiends, a very nasty Sven, which could be very hard to take care of if untreated for long enough, but really has nothing to say later on in the game besides that. Another patient has the Juggernaut, which definitely won't be as terminal as a Sven, individually anyway, but also has a Lena, which I would say scales as well as that Shadow Fiend. Spearbreaker definitely outscales the Pit Lord. and a Weaver who might potentially be able to transition to a core role if the game goes long enough. Sven definitely outscales them all, but well, there goes Spirit Breaker. Just gets
poor
completely pounded by the
Spirit Breaker
boys.
outscales his lifespan.
Right. Sven probably outscales them all, but well, individually anyway. But does he outscale the team as a whole, especially if Weaver is able to take it long enough to kind of go into more of a core sort of situation?
Yeah, I mean,
I
if
think
he's
he
allowed
does,
to
but
get, if he's allowed to
it's-
get his scepter synth or whatever that's called, the blessing, he can do whatever he wants at that point.
Dire's structures.
I mean, right now he's
Right.
just a walking eggs,
Right, right.
but in like 30 minutes from now, who knows?
You also have to consider that SF right now is considerably scarier than Lena is.
Oh, absolutely, he's able
Yeah,
to
the
land
moment.
those raises really consistently, and his right-click damage is on par, if not better than hers. And she only has one advantage in that she can drop a combo on him right now.
Right.
Oh, Lion's dead.
I will tell you this much. Right now, Shadow Fiend's scarier than Lena.
Oh
but
no! Oh no,
she can be
dude!
pretty bad, pretty fast. We've seen a lot of it in this tournament. Lena suddenly bringing out the crazy right-click damage like this, for example.
Yep.
Unfortunately, that was just two supports and a core. Not even a
Yeah,
core.
two supports
just
and the three. The three and
Awful
under club.
core,
Yeah,
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
they really
No
didn't.
MVPs
they
were
got-
slain in that fight.
Yeah, they got 3 kills for that, but yeah, I mean, look at Shadowfiend's money. It's just climbing and climbing. So Sven's.
One
Sitting a little close over here. Sven needs to back off.
One important factor, by the way, is that Lena can pretty much just get around the Shadow Fiend BKB if he ends up getting it. I mean, when he ends up getting it, let's just
Could
make
you
no
do
mistake
me
here.
a favor and give me a peek over what Sven's got for items?
Sure thing, buddy.
Oh yeah, he is very built right now. If he gets
he's,
Daedalus, if he gets honestly, people don't like to build on Sven because they like to go for something like Echo Saber, but Orchid on Sven is just cruel.
Yeah, the way Bloodthorn works now, you can definitely get some interesting use out of that.
Yeah, yeah.
Control.
Well, Lena's in more than trouble. Lena just getting very casually picked while
It's a turnabout. Lion trying to make an effort to go for VS there, but I don't think it was happening.
right.
Good
Gonna
pick,
do
but I
some
don't know if they can
Roche.
really afford to. I don't know if they can afford to do this.
It is risky. I don't know if, well, they certainly know now.
Yeah, Jug has his ult. He could just walk in and oh, here we go. They're taking a peek.
But yeah, it's taking a look at this.
Oh no!
Light him
dude.
up. Spirit Breaker charge incoming? No, he actually held it.
They're trying to race it. They're trying to race it.
Oh
There he
man.
goes. Oh no!
Oh, they did
dude.
not give Manoy in that.
I
He
know.
was ready for it. Ulted it. They just killed Roche with the finger.
Jug got it. Oh no.
In fairness,
Well, hey.
the Dire was gonna get it either way.
Yeah, but honestly, if you're gonna snake something, snake whatever's worth like 300 gold in the moment.
Right.
Jug picks up the Aegis and a nice double kill.
Yep.
But again.
And
there you
it was Sven too. That is,
Yep.
that was not good.
Yeah.
Jug, speaking of, is already a little over halfway to his Ags.
Radiant's middle tower is under
go. Yeah, it
attack.
certainly is.
Got a
That
Crimson
is-
Guard up on the
Yeesh,
on the
kidding
Pit
me?
Lord.
Radiant's middle tower has
Well, that's definitely gonna help, but that needs to come out before the Omni Slash.
Yep, Crimson Guard definitely going to be good here. Helps the damage block, does well with a lot of what Jug has to offer. He basically needs to
they're
clear,
gonna-
he gets nothing.
They can't do anything until that ward is destroyed.
Gonna be able to definitely help defend the tower
Probably
there.
back. Yep.
The Crimson Guard plus the Bloodlust on the tower just really makes it a very unassailable target. The Weaver armor break, those kind of mess with damage block pretty considerably. Armor break and damage block have a very complicated relationship where more armor doesn't really help damage block that much, but armor strip really hurts it a lot. So kind of unfortunate for him here. So there's something to do if you're seeing a Crimson Guard that you're having trouble dealing with, by the way. Pick up Deso, or like a Solar Crest or something. I don't know, I'm not your dad. But,
Or Nullifier.
yeah.
Solar Crest if you want to do a little more than just get rid of armor, because it does actually rob a pretty significant amount of move and attack speed from the target as well.
Right.
And blends.
Yeah, actually, I don't think it does. Does it get rid of accuracy now? Does it actually blind? I don't think it does that anymore.
No, I don't think it does either.
It
It's
used
kind
to
of
do that,
lost
which made
the
it
original intent of the
yeah.
item.
Yeah, because it used to be made with a, if I remember correctly, it was a Talisman Evasion. Oh no, dude, Spirit Breaker is in real danger.
Unfortunately,
Oh,
Spirit
the
Breaker
kick.
kind of one of those
Oh, no.
consequences for you
He
guys
doesn't
when he
blind
hits.
anymore. Is that true?
Dude, this fight is mental. Oh no,
Casual
this-
ult from the Pit
Oh
Lord.
my god.
I
Oh my
like
God,
that.
that was brilliant.
That was kind of smart. Pit Lord trying to bring his guys out there. VS immediately just swaps in to try and stop it. Unfortunately, this is probably not the fight they wanted to ensue afterwards.
Both teams
The,
are just beaten within an inch of their lives,
Yep.
but they actually walked off with 2 over on... Wow, Baby Shlark actually has to back off with Aegis.
Yeah.
If they actually got routed out there. No Omni
You don't
Slash
want
is
these
shut
fights
down.
to go
Is
that
under attack.
I
badly.
gotta give credit here. That swap to pull Underlord away from their safety zone was good. Unfortunately, I think that the rest of the team wasn't expecting that, because when Pitlord got in there, he didn't die immediately. They weren't really expecting him to go in there, and they just didn't react in time. They probably could have killed him, but it really
Here's
felt like
an
it was
interesting one
unexpected.
for you. Jug got stats instead of crit. It's actually going to help amplify the Crimson Guard quite heavily, especially in combination with the Atrophy Aura.
Yeah, I feel like he's definitely going to need more crit than stat at this point. Like, stats are nice to have when you have an advantage, but their advantage is not that huge. Well,
Right.
at least
Yeah, I was wondering why
monetarily
Juggernaut
speaking.
didn't seem to be doing any damage to old Pit Lord there, but when I saw he's not level 9 crit. Against a guy who's going to be building this bad boy, no, you got to get that crit or you ain't doing nothing. Every shot you make that doesn't crit is a shot that's doing 1 damage.
Fun fact about Jug's passive, that crit, it, technically speaking, out DPS's PA's coup de grace on average.
Right.
You really can't afford to skip that.
Probably just going all stats just to try and keep survivability up.
I would assume, but Jug isn't really exactly surviving by slim margins here. He's either dying in a flash or living through this, about half HP.
Right.
He either gets focused or he doesn't. It's not even a matter of how much HP you got. He's already got fat stats. I mean, God's sake, he's got an Ags with Wand and...
Yeah, he's got fat
what is that,
stats all right. He
Sanjaya?
literally can't. He can't.
That's Sanjaya.
He can't get any more stats. In fact, not only did he level up all of his stats, he also got +5 to all stats. Man is a stat god.
Stat god, and there you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna be blunt here. I don't subscribe to the idea of maxing stats before your core skills. It's
In some
something
situations,
that you used
but
to
it's-
see
it's
back in
niche.
Dota 1. It's something back in Dota 2 pre Reborn. It's
Right.
something that's, I wouldn't say unconventional, but it's a huge.
Good start from the
huge
Pit Lord here.
Nice multicast.
Great pit
Ooh.
just in the middle of the
Yeah.
fight. Juggernaut just in the middle of it.
Oh,
Roxy
swapping
Roro
blades
just
are nice.
completely annihilated. BKB's up as they charge back in.
Ignoring
US
his
Danny getting
ignoring.
shredded!
Oh, here comes the Omni.
Omni
the
in.
Crimson Guard.
Yeah, Crimson Guard just eats all of it. Minoy's able
Oh
to
my
get out
God.
about half HP. Split Slash,
the
though,
Back Slash.
deals with the spin.
Minoy?
Oh,
Aegis
no,
just
the-
popped.
Minoy
Aegis
is
just
behind.
Aegis just expired on Jug. Aegis just
Okay.
expired on
They
Jug.
lost Sven for that, but man, look how much gold that Shadow Fiend is currently sitting on.
Shadow Fiend is
Minoy
terrifying right
is
now.
officially the Jeff Bezos of murder.
Aegis expired in the middle of that
Yeah,
fight. Juggernaut is going to be crying himself to sleep tonight for sure. Poor respect the pouch,
This
dude.
is what happens when you really wait out Aegis' timer, though. You really have to make it in use immediately.
Yep.
That bit earlier when they chose to run instead of sticking it out and using Aegis' pop, I feel like that was a mistake now.
Yeah, definitely in hindsight, yeah.
Dire's middle tower
I feel like
It
if
is
maybe
a
they pressed
hindsight
the
thing. I can definitely see why you would say in the moment,
Yeah,
like, yeah, we
yeah.
don't
I mean,
wanna
in the
use
moment they lost 2 and they thought, nah, we should back off. I don't know. I feel like if Jug had just committed, let himself get that Aegis pop and wait for VS to bail him out, then I
Yeah,
feel like
because
they
he
could've
still
worked
had
better.
Omni, too. He still had
Yeah, I
Omni.
feel
when
like
he
if
had
VS
Rada.
hadn't, if VS had not swapped the Underlord in and had waited for the Aegis pop on Jug and then swapped into safety if it went south, would have been a lot better of an idea in the long run. But now,
Right.
since Shadow Fiend took that passive effects towers trait, it's over. I feel like
has fallen.
they're ripping him to pieces.
They did only get 1 range rack for all that trouble, though. They're immediately having to back.
That's true, but that's a lot of progress for just a little push.
Head to the bot lane.
Yep.
Got to keep that lane pressure up.
Combination being and her imaginary friend Dusty.
Well, they managed to take a rack.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
This is danger.
Spear Breaker coming
No,
in.
he's not
Again,
alone.
not the guy you want to be facing as Pit Lord anyway, because
Oh,
he's
they're
W
all here.
really just eats a
They
lot
are.
of what you gotta do.
Ogre needs to peace out. This
The
is
Crimson
not...
Guard really
Oh,
making it tough to
he's
kill him, and he
bashing.
gets out!
Oh, Ogre eats
What?
it,
Okay. I really thought Jug lost his
There
mind.
goes my hero. Watch him as he goes.
Oh, every single time. I'm never going to get used to Slow Slash, dude. I wish it had a different effect. Every time, I just think Jug just completely lost his mind, dude. For one brief, glorious moment, I think Jug just went completely crazy. All
At
of
least
time.
Lord's about to get boots.
I'm gonna be
There we
honest,
go.
guys. You didn't address it in the moment, but that Ogre really did give his all to make sure that
Yeah.
his friend Underlord got out of that one. Now that is
Right.
commendable. Uh-oh. Ooh.
Good dodge on Waver's part. Lion is going to get completely annihilated here. Oh, funny Lotus on the slash, but doesn't really do much. Again, they just can't kill Pit Lord. Look at that. That was such a hopeless situation for the guy, and yet because of the
And it
Crimson
still
Guard,
took that long.
he just lived for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, it takes a considerable amount of effort to bring him low, but that's still just Underlord they killed, you know? It's Underlord
Yep.
and Lion, and Sven, especially Shadowfiend, are still alive, still farming.
Pit Lord is in the ultimate Dow Apostolary situation here in this game. It's like, he's in a position where it really sucks to have to try and kill him. It's really hard to kill him, but he's like the first guy you gotta kill because he has such a high impact on the team fight. Like, you just kind of have to take care of him, or else he just
Yep.
pops Crimson Guard. Nobody's gonna die. Look, still level 1 crit. They still can't do anything about the Crimson. Level 1 crit, no Deso on the Lena, like... Even with the combination of the BS puff and the bug, gonna be timed really well.
Oh,
Kind
no,
of
he
bait
didn't
there.
account-
Lion ends up getting slopped in and taken out. Great ult from Annoy, gets all 5.
Good ult.
What a
Spear
requiem.
Breaker gets chased within an inch of his life. BS dies instantly. Jug ulting the Sven. Doesn't manage to seal the deal.
Yep.
Gets away.
Annoy charged in on.
Oh.
Spearbreaker gives his life for this potential kill on Annoy, but he's so fast with the spider legs, they got no hope.
Can you hear the requiem?
Crimson Guard is up as they
Oh,
just
the
valiantly
multicast.
charge back in. Sliss Slash, but... Oh boy, that
The Crimson
sucks.
Guard
Oh.
completely nullified it.
Yep. Such...
Oh,
there
man.
is
All they
so much
lost in
mileage.
that fight was Lion.
There is so much mileage coming out of that Crimson Guard this game. Like, anybody who thinks, like, Crimson Guard is poopy item,
See, yeah, there's the poopy.
collapses and buy it, or whatever. Yeah, there's the poopy. Anybody who thinks that, just take a look at this game. Like, it is really, really paying dividends here. That thing has paid itself off, like, 7 times over.
Yeah, I gotta say that River Dye thing, that does not look like oil.
I've said it before, like, the most...
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah, this could be bad.
He's got 2 seconds till BKB. He can kill whoever he wants. They don't have vision.
The most flattering
sure.
description... Yeah, he thinks
Nah,
there's a
he's
lot
not feeling
there.
confident.
Exit.
The most
He could
flat-
honestly kill Lena right then and there if he had a little bit longer of a cooldown, or a shorter cooldown. He might actually be able to pull it off, though. I think he still knows.
Right, yeah, he's still thinking about it.
Oh no, dude. Oh no, dude. She's completely alone. Well, at least she was.
US Danny might be to be the one about to make the funny noise this time.
Oh no!
Right on top of her! Goodbye, Lena! Minoy officially beyond godlike.
Oh man, that's gotta be embarrassing, getting clowned like that.
The most flattering comparison I have to make about the water with this is that it looks like some of the paint in Mario Sunshine.
You know, you're actually right.
Immediately faced with this proposition, all of Baby Shlark just says, nope, behind T3s now. Not having any of this. Backdoor Boys say, okay, we're just gonna do
Wow.
Rush again.
Roche dies in like 10 seconds flat. That's what, the 3rd Roche now? 2nd, I think, actually?
Another chance.
Nope.
Yep, got the shard. Got the shards, that's number 2. And they're giving it to Shadow Fiend, and baby, that's it's
There
one
you go.
nasty shard. One nasty shard. You know, Minoy already does about 1 trillion auto attack damage, so how about a little bit more? How about you get more souls and you get 190% crit, huh? How about that?
I feel like we're about to see another amazing Shadow Fiend. He's got 30 seconds cooldown on that. His BKB wasn't even used to kill, Oh no, Shug's already got to blow his...
Wow.
Oh, that's instant death.
That's unfortunate.
That was very quickly dead Rex.
Swift and violent retribution.
Dire structures are falling.
They need a miracle.
This super
Oh, I
sucks.
just realized their weakness over on Baby Shlark. They don't have a big team fight answer.
Right.
They
They
don't
kind of
have
do in the form
Earthshaker.
of like the Spirit Breaker being able to tank through.
A little
that's
bit, but they don't sit tight together enough too often for it. Oh.
We got a good pick on Chris here. Unfortunately, he's a guy with the
Sven
Aegis.
had they just popped. They have a chance. They have a window. They need to make it happen right now.
Fear on
no,
3.
Weaver's down.
Weaver goes. Spirit Breaker charges into the pit. None to the pit. It burns.
Sven,
Speaking of burns, oh, barely
reset.
saves out the Lena there. Great buyback ult from Weaver.
oh no, Jug!
But Jug
Oh.
died.
That-
Jug died for it, but Benoy, he's gone so far for this. He actually
Benoy
dies for it as
died.
well.
But he's got buyback, and it was
He's
worth
got
it.
by.
Jug managed to hit his buyback. Oh no, dude,
Hey,
Lena's
Rada.
down. Jug has no ult. Jug's got Swift Slash, and that's it.
Ah, the
no,
mutual
the
slow
Lotus
flash.
again.
And well,
man,
hey, do you guys
on the
forget
ball.
Sven? Again, another great Weaver ult though.
Alright, disengage.
Away we go.
Man, that is a fight to remember. Holy hell.
That was chaos. If you're Chaos Knight, you sow chaos, you sow that.
Chaos Knight is he's spectating the game right now. He's got a bag of popcorn. He's just sitting there with all four of himself eating it. Yeah.
Now that is what I like to see.
I can only imagine what the end game for this. Huh, 2 aesthetics caps dropped back to back. That's kind of weird.
Interesting.
There you
Two
go.
different hats of the same
That-
size.
I gotta say, I really feel like there's like some kind of like timing-based wizardry to how the game decides drops. Because half the time you see 2 items drop at the same time, it's like back to back like that.
It's gonna be very awkward if 2 people show up wearing the same hat to the party. Somebody's gonna have to go home and change.
I don't know, man. And maybe if you just sort of like owned it, like, yeah, no, we came with matching hats. Just try to sell it, you know?
Yeah.
For my fire.
We came with matching hats. We're brothers now. Who's gonna be
It
the...
doesn't help if you don't
is that
like
Pit
each other,
Lord?
though. It's a bit awkward.
Yeah, it's gonna be on Pit Lord here. Oh, Pit Lord with a cap. That's just... He's already hard enough to kill, man.
Telescope on Lena, it's gonna help a little bit.
You have at least 2 levels of the crit on Jug now. It's gonna help that a little bit.
Yeah, you know,
Halberd.
I feel like they wouldn't be having the issues they're having now if Jug had actually maxed his crit.
Well, you can't say necessarily they wouldn't be having issues, but yeah, definitely.
I don't
be an
know,
easier
man. The
path
number
for
of
them.
people that have outright survived Swift Slash and Omni Slash, even without Crimson Guard in the equation.
Spirit
It's a
Breaker
little
lost
too
his
often.
nerve!
Yeah,
Spirit
he did.
Breaker lost his nerve. He almost lost his
He had
lifer, too.
BKB.
Dire's
He
bottom
BKB a Magic Beam target. It's not doing anything. Sven's allowed to run Roughshot. He's gonna beat Weaver up a little.
Now he's gonna really beat up US Danny.
Oh,
Oh, the Eels
he
at the
needs to
last
run.
second. We're
Okay,
gonna
good
charge in
charge
playing
through
point
all of
guard.
them.
Goodbye,
Oh, the Pit of
VS.
Malice. Yes, gone. There goes their back end support.
There
All they've
goes
got now
the
is
Spirit
Weaver.
Breaker as well.
Oh boy.
Weaver's significantly tanky.
Finn
now,
is
but-
ulted. He's
ugh.
just gonna eat some racks.
Oh,
Right
yeah,
through
don't
back
even-
door.
Through back
They
door.
don't care. They are not giving a damn about
Making their
backdoor.
namesake.
now have
That's Mega's. Gentlemen, I think we have seen all we need to see.
Yeah, this is, I believe this might be the end of the season for me. Okay.
Baby Shlark appears to be with their backs to the wall here. This isn't looking good.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Are we going to see a miraculous turnaround? But it's looking really grim.
They don't even want to look at these guys. They don't even want to think about these guys.
Yeah.
And
Danny's
Benoy
having
has
to get
put the
close.
fear of God in them.
Right. They want
Sure
nothing to do
have.
with it.
Oh, Lion scared the hell out of Jug there.
Yep. And now here comes a massive creep wave just to make things worse. T4 goes down, T4 goes down, and
Here's the last.
gonna have one last one. Omni all on
Oh, Spider
all
looking pretty.
over the Pit Lord, but baby, he doesn't give one. And that's it. Backdoor Boys have thrown the baby out with the
Alright.
bathwater.
Post-mortem.
Yep. Here's my post-mortem analysis of old Baby Shlark. Well, you kept nearly kill parity with the top team in the league right now, so that's good. That's a good start. So you didn't go out on a sour note. I mean, you did lose. You did go 0-2 against them. So that means, in a way, you came in under what Lich did. But still, Backdoor Boys, they ain't nothing to
You at
mess
least
with.
went without. At least you went out with a fight.
Yeah, after that first match, this could have easily been just a situation where everyone just kind of gives up, rolls over, takes it, says game over at the end. But I think we did have they did at least put on a good performance to finish it out. It wasn't without issue. In particular, I feel like I know we kind of harped on this a lot, but like the decision not to take the crits on Sven, Pit Lord punished that so bad through the game. That Pit Lord
Crits on Jug.
put himself in a very positive light in this game, man. It felt like he was just completely unkillable. I mean, he died 4 times. Don't get me wrong, but like that was 4 Herculean efforts, 4 very Herculean efforts. Yeah.
Right.
It's hard to say anything, but I think they just kind of got outplayed here. So here's the post-mortem. As a unit, Baby Shlark. The thing I'm gonna definitely remember about Baby Shlark, if you ask me a year from now, is Baby Shlark, team that just would not quit, the never say die team. I feel like, funnily enough, I feel like maybe their biggest problem as a team is that they never seem to really draft well around that concept. If your idea is you want to have the guerrilla war, if you want to entrench, you want to survive the mega creeps and all that, it feels like maybe it would be in your best interests to go for more comps that were like sort of focused around pushing back out, focused more around like big dramatic defenses and all that. I actually think LDR might have a beat in that respect, but that's just me. So to that end, yeah, Baby Shlark, the never say die team, they never gave up. You could definitely tell morale was high for them the whole season. And even when they had bad games, you always saw a bounce back. You know, Bonus here, this game was as good for Bonus as the last game was as bad for him, for example, right? So, taking it all down from let's go from 1 to 5. Last time I did from top to bottom. This time let's go from 1 to 5. Respect the pouch. The biggest thing I can say to you to respect the pouch is you definitely got to work on that draft game, and the number one person you got to work on that draft game for is that guy who lives in the mirror. The biggest, I think, genuinely, the biggest issue that you had through the season personally is I think you constantly underestimated yourself. You constantly said, I'm a one-trick pony. I'm good at Lie Stealer. I'm not good at anything else. Look at how you did in this game against the goddamn Backdoor Boys, alright?
Right.
You walked away with a score that looks this good against them. That's a major, major, major merit on you, right? There's more to your life than just that. And you're not the only guy in this league with that problem. Luth of Willow Twisted Fantasy has that exact same issue, right? In the same role, actually, funnily enough. But definitely the underestimation of yourself. You can definitely play more than what you think you can play. You're definitely more capable than you think you are. If that little bug in the back of your mind clicks and you start estimating yourself, now estimating yourself fairly, not overestimating. You don't want to go too far that other direction, but if you start giving yourself more of like sort of a healthy assessment, I think it's nothing but good things for you moving forward. US Danny, on the other hand, I feel like US Danny, brother, you need to work on your pool a little bit. You definitely very good in a very narrow selection, I think. He has an enchanted quiver, your favorite jungle item. Very good in a very narrow selection. Definitely, I think of the mids, maybe only a couple of guys exceed you in that way. You can kind of see it here. You know, this was just kind of a ho-hum game for you in a matchup where everyone else is kind of rocking the world, right? The thing I would definitely say is it's going to get better over time. Obviously, I mean, I know you're not exactly the newest guy in the league. It's going to get better over time. Keep trying new. I heard you had a whole season where you picked nothing but puck. Can't be doing that. Keep trying new. You lean more into it later on in the season. I think it's all good for you there if you do. lean new, try new, find what works, discard what doesn't, and things will get better for you over time. Boofus on the Spirit Breaker. Oh, what can you say about Boofus? I don't know, it's hard to say. It never really feels like Baby Shlark made a team that was all about the Boofus. He
Right.
never really got to show us his full potential. He never got to really run with the ball or drop the ball
Just like
potentially.
a bit player.
Right. And that's not his fault. Arrow, I feel like there's actually a lot of teams where the 3 is kind of the least considered part of the whole matchup. I think Radiant Straits actually that's probably their most critical weakness as a team is just kind of how little thought they give to the off lane in general sometimes. But yeah, Boof, um, I'm sorry, brother, I can't say much to you except if you're this far back in the pecking order, you definitely want to speak louder. What I have seen from you, it has not disappointed. It's never been anything that's like going to be like a mind-blowing, holy crap, that was great, love it performance, right? But I feel like you kind of were in the situation like Godlike Matt and Balladek were in on LDR, and it just never kind of undid itself through the season. Maybe that's assertiveness, maybe that's team politics. I don't know. Either way, I'll definitely have more to say about you next season if you're running there, right? So sorry I was so brief towards you in particular. Roxy Roro, you started the season rough. You definitely just got better over time. Play a very mean, aggressive 4. You know, there are some 4s who like to play sort of escort fighter for the 3, and there are some 4s that really like to come in and scramble you like an egg. Roxy, you're a great egg scrambler. The best thing I can tell you is keep leaning into that strength. You've found what you're good at. Keep leaning into the strength. Find more of these heroes, like that Snapfire in particular, where you can really, point at them and say, "This is like a super bad hero for me." Make yourself all the enemy team is thinking about in that first line of bans, and that's going to be a great benefit for you moving forward on pretty much any team you might end up with. And finally, bonus. I think bonus. The best thing I have to tell you is there's got to be a new word entering your vocabulary, brother, and that word is no. I think that's the best possible thing you could have at this point. You know, and again, that's kind of a confidence thing, kind of a bookend for Respect the Pouch. Uh, I feel like when you're a 5 and when you're not the captain, these sort of decisions, they're never all on you. There's always going to be at least a little bit of, hey, I want to farm this out, go ward it up, or hey, I want to have Ogre Magi's E this game, you want to just run Ogre, even when that's not necessarily really the case, you know? Uh, Definitely speaking up and saying I want no part of this could definitely get you a lot of good done because when you get something closer to your way, when the stars align for you, right? When there's nothing that you needed to fight, you definitely showed off some good performances. But when you were put into these situations that weren't quite so optimal, like in those few games where you had to swap with Roxy, for example, it did not seem like things ever seemed to go quite so great, right? You gotta putting that foot down. I feel like a little bit more saying, and that doesn't mean you have to go again. Doesn't mean you go the other way. You go full egotistical. It means that if you think there's a bad idea, point it out. But don't just point it out, right? No needs to enter your vocabulary, but it always needs to carry a comma at the end. The most powerful addition to no is a comma, and here's why. And it's that phrase exactly, right?
Right.
It's going to be doctrine. It's that strategic and the tactical layer that I feel like needs some work. So, yeah, that's it. That's Baby Shlark. Their season in the books, coming in probably with the least ideal possible situation. They did make some lemonade here, but just not quite enough to live on, right? And that's the ball game. That's it for Baby Shlark. What do you think,
There you
Ocelot?
go.
I do have a closing statement to make here. I'd like to point out a bit of an unsung MVP here on bonus playing VS. They were present for nearly every single fight.
Yeah,
Just
basically.
by their kill, assist, and death total, they were there for nearly everything. They were where they needed to be. They interacted with the fight just about how they should have every single time.
Right.
It's just the sad fact of the matter that VS, outside of her stun swap and a bit of armor reduction, she doesn't bring a whole lot to the table. And I really like the Solar Crest item pick, but you have to sometimes build items that your team doesn't have And I gotta be completely blunt here. There is no mechanism on this team.
Yep. Yep, that's an unfortunate sitch, but
She doesn't
yeah.
have quite the mana pool to support it all the time, but gotta say, if you're going for something like Ether Lens at some point, even early or not, even if, especially if you have Wand, you really should try to go, in my opinion, for a mech, because the swap into a mech pop could be all you need to save someone's ass.
Yeah, you can definitely tell Bonus was in that Stepford support sort of situation. Got no money at all, basically. Nothing to the poor guy's name but that one solar crest. And in a situation like this, I do agree. A little bit more could definitely have gone a long way. That's the thing for Pause 5s. It's a very difficult balance, but I think it's a very important balance to find that sort of distinction, because pause 5 does not mean pause nothing. It means pause 5. It means you get the lowest priority farm, but that doesn't mean no farm. It means the lowest priority, right? And
Yep.
being able to get a little bit more cash, a little bit more perhaps on the level side of the equation as well, being pretty distantly below. Lion also lower level, but what does Lion need levels for as long as his ult is parity, right? As long as his ult is where it should be, he's fine. A little bit more levels as well. Definitely could have gone well away. But yeah, that's it. That's all we have to say here. So if you or somebody you know wants to learn Dota 2 at a casual or more competitive level, go to ld2l.gg. The bracket's already underway, so you're crazy if you think you're making it for this season. Sign-ups for the next season are always open. Stand-ins always necessary. Though you might see a little bit of the need dwindling for them as things start to come to a head here. And yeah, that's it. That's the ball game. But before we go, right? There's just a little something that's been on my mind recently. Hey Randy,
Hey.
I've back when I was younger, right? There used to be this website I always liked to go on called Congregate, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And there were
It
a
still exists.
it's still there.
Shitty old Flash games.
There are a whole lot of games that I like to play. I like to play that Warfare 1917. I like that Age of War. Very common thread, as you can see there. I even like that weird like Gymcraft tower defense game that never seemed to be quite as interesting as it looked on the surface level. For example, right? You know, a lot of great times on Congregate. But I feel like ever since Flash has gone dead, and now all those things are lost. And as a nostalgia addicted mid-20s guy, where am I going to go to get my Flash game fixed nowadays?
Flashpoint.
Wow! That's crazy! But I bet they don't also have a lot of like weird animations and stuff there too.
Oh, of course they do. They have everything.
Holy Moses! You're telling me they have the entire collection of all the Flash stuff?
Yeah, yeah. Everything.
Even like the stuff on Newgrounds that got blamed?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Are you sure? Because I doubt anyone has those.
Probably not, but I'm gonna claim they do, just for fun.
Yeah. I mean, we're not really sponsored by them, so,
Yeah,
so
that's
it's not
true.
like that we're gonna get messed up for it. But yeah, Flashpoint, excellent little piece of software. A lot of fun stuff on old Flashpoint, and the best part is it's free though. If I were you, these guys did a lot of hard work to preserve a whole lot of stuff. Maybe a little donation. I don't know. I don't know.
God.
So yeah, that's it. See you next time, everybody.